Okay, here's a little video. I'm going to explain Project 5. I did a little bit in the introduction of Week 6 material. But in Project 5, what we're going to do is we're going to estimate the capital asset pricing model. We're going to estimate the Fama-French three-factor model. We're going to do this for several stocks, individual stocks, and then a group of portfolios. Okay. So number one, we're going to use this data set, Project 5A. It's located in the Project 5 folder on Canvas. I want you to estimate the capital asset pricing model, report the alpha with its corresponding t-statistic, and the beta with its corresponding t-statistic for each of the 8 stocks. Project 5A has 5 years of monthly data for each of these 8 stocks. For those of you who care, so look, we estimate, so section 4, in this section under the lecture outline, watch those videos carefully. This will help you estimate or complete number 1 of Project 1, or number 1 of Project 5, sorry. We're also going to estimate the Fama-French three-factor model using the exact same data set. Okay. Report the estimates for alpha and beta for alpha and the betas for each of the 8 stocks. Okay. Again, for those of you who want a little heads up, pay attention to this video. That will help you solve problem 2 on Project 5. And then last but not least, this is an important part of the class. What we're going to do is we're going to back test a buy and hold trading strategy to try to find alpha. All right. So in this strategy, we're going to take a contrarian approach, meaning we think that there's going to be mean reversion in stock prices. We're going to use the 52-week high price as a reference point. And what I've done is I've calculated the ratio of the current price during a particular month for a particular stock relative to its 52-week high. So the closer that the stock, I called this variable the nearness to the 52-week high. The higher this variable, as the stock price approaches its 52-week high, this thing's going to get close to 1. As the stock price is lower or further away from its 52-week high, this thing's closer to 0. So this gives us a continuous measure of the nearness to the 52-week high. Now watch what I do. I'm going to look at changes in that ratio, that nearness ratio, okay? And basically what I've done is I've sorted all of the data. So every month for every publicly traded stock, I've sorted the data into portfolios, into 5 portfolios based on the size of the change in that ratio. Okay, so portfolio 1 is going to capture stocks that have a very small change in that nearness to the 52-week high. Portfolio 5 is going to have the large changes away from that 52-week high. Does that make sense? So the idea is I sort these things every month. Actually, I do this last month. I lag the variables, and I do this last month. And then you're going to estimate the CAPM and the Fama-French three-factor model this month based on based on portfolios formed on this lagged change in the nearness ratio. Okay, and then you're going to estimate the CAPM model and the Fama-French three-factor model. You're going to obtain the alphas. You're going to report the t-statistics. And what I also want you to do is I want you to estimate in this column out here something called the hedge portfolio. I explain this and go through an example, very careful example in 6C on the lecture outline. Okay, so I explain this there. But what I want you to do is I want you to take portfolios 5 return and subtract portfolios 1 return. And then I want you to take that difference and run the regression on the CAPM and the Fama-French three-factor model and obtain the alpha. So this hedge portfolio basically tells you, so maybe you're going to get positive alpha here in portfolio 5 and negative alpha here in portfolio 1. What we do by taking portfolio 5 minus portfolio 1, we increase the size of our alpha. Basically, we buy stocks with this, in this portfolio, and we would sell or short sell stocks in this portfolio to increase the size of our alpha. Last but not least, just explain what you found in this table in problem 3 and give me a recommendation for which portfolios you would buy and which portfolios you would sell. Of course, that's going to be based on the alphas.